Good morning, you guys. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy second week of the Cash Injection Through Connection live stream series. I'm just going to take a sip of my tea. Mm. Um, as I get started here, as you guys come on live. Super excited to chat this week about all of the goodness around connection through that second layer of connection that we built on last week. I gotta admit, I am feeling a little bit tired today. We had a full weekend. I was out on the lake yesterday, so feeling kind of tired, but I'm still super pumped, super excited to talk about this topic. So as you guys hop on, say hi and let me know that you're joining me. Say hi if you're watching the replay and let me know that you're watching the replay. And I'm just going to dive right in. So today, let me pull up my notes. Again, if you're here and you're joining me, say hi. So today, last week, right, if you guys watched, we laid the foundation for all of those internal connections that are so essential for you to be able to build those long-term results in your business, right? And as I talked about last week, unless we first lay those internal connections, we have to lay that first so that we can start building those external connections, right? So again, if you didn't watch last week and you didn't get a chance to watch the replay or see the videos, I highly recommend going back and looking at those, because it is going to help you understand a little bit better as we build out what we're going to be talking about for the rest of this week, right? So again, I mentioned this last week and I cannot stress it enough. You cannot create long-lasting external connections, the things that we all need as business owners, right? Like connecting to, let me just turn my phone off. Clients are beeping me. You can't, what was I saying? You can't create those external connections, right? Like connecting with your audience, like, connecting with other business owners, like using your messaging to connect, which is all stuff that we're going to talk about this week. You can't actually do that efficiently and successfully and on a long-term sustainable level without first nailing those internal connections, right? So we laid the foundation for all of that last week. And this week, what we're going to do, we're going to be diving into that second fundamental layer of connection, and that is connection with and through your business, right? So this is the part, you guys, that sets the business of your business up for success. So everything that we're going to be talking about, I just want you to know, it does shift and it does evolve as your business shifts and evolves, right? It's so important that you, if you're watching again and you're watching the replay, that you stay open to that evolution. So if you are watching me and you are watching the replay, I'd love to know, is your business today where it was when you first started? Or if you're just starting out in business, tell me where you are in your business right now. Like, what are you up to? What are the things? Because here's the thing, your business will change. It will evolve. We all know that, right? So it's so important that you stay open to that. So I say that because, again, I want to give you some context that the things that we're going to be going over this week and for the rest of this training series throughout the month, it is going to shift as you shift, and I want you to be able to stay open to shifting with it, right? So I like to think of this layer of the connection piece as almost like the back end, right? Almost like that internal work that you have to actually do on your business. So last week we worked in the internal with yourself as the business owner. This week it's the internal work we're going to be doing on the business so that you can create a strong brand presence, so that you can create that know, like, and trust factor that everybody talks about, that we know as a business owner, it's so important to achieve, so that you can actually build influence and become an influencer in your space, right? So, you can think of this week as we're creating and connecting with your business so that you can connect with your market, right? And we'll talk more about that next week. And so that you can connect with other business owners, for partnerships, for collaborations, for whatever the case may be, so that you can build a connection with your people, with people outside of you. So this is what we're going to be going through this week. So we're talking about today why connection is a non-negotiable, right? Why it is a non-negotiable in your business. And the reason why I think this is an important thing for us to sort of, as business owners, to kind of understand and really get into that mindset of thinking of connection as a non-negotiable is because what often happens, and what I've seen happen so many times over and over again, is that people wait, right, until it is the time, until it's time for the sale, or until they're time to launch something, or they're offering something, or they're promoting something, to actually start building those connections, right? And as I mentioned last week, consumers, especially in this online space, are smarter and much more aware of these strategies now than they were before, right? Like, people have caught on to the game, especially if you are in a business to business space, meaning you are a business owner and you're serving other business owners and they operate in this online space. They're all kind of launching and doing the same thing. They all kind of understand the way this game works, right? So what's happening is that it's taking much more effort now to convert those people than it ever did before, right? So if you're not weaving connection through your marketing and your business at all times, that conversion becomes a little bit harder as time progresses, because everybody just knows this is like the way things go. If you're here and you're watching me, say hi. I'd love to know who's joining me. So that is the thing that is happening, right? So people are so much smarter and more aware of that. So if you're not taking the time to build those connections consistently throughout your marketing, it becomes more and more difficult to convert people, right? To convert at the time of the sale. So in fact, what I've seen and what I know to be true is that those business owners, right, who have sold out launches, who have waitlist status, who have like clients constantly coming to them and creating that consistent income, it's those business owners who have been able to create connections consistently in their marketing. It's people who are doing this on a daily basis, who's weaving it throughout all of your marketing and all of your business efforts, right? So this is why I know and I believe that connection is not just a tactic or a marketing strategy that you pull out when it's time for the sale, or that you pull out when it's time to do a launch. Now, am I saying that at the time of a launch, or if you know you're about to launch something or do something and you projected that's coming up soon, that you can't wrap your connections up and you can't like really enhance that and go all in on that? Absolutely not. Like, in fact, I highly recommend you doing it more so than normal. But my point for saying that is, if you're not doing it all along in your business, and then you drop out of nowhere and you start doing it right before you're ready to make a sale, or right before you're ready to launch something, your numbers are not going to be as great. Your conversions are not going to be as good as it can be, right? So what I want you to know is that connection is something, like I said, and what we're going to be covering this week, connection through your business and these business back-end pieces we're going to talk about this week, needs to be taking place throughout all of your content, throughout all of your funnels and your marketing campaigns, and even your ad campaigns, right? 100% in your ad campaigns. Throughout your offers, like the offers that you're putting out has to also have that connection piece. And we'll talk about that this week. Obviously your social media, whether you're creating stories, whether you're doing videos, whether you're doing, like posts, whatever the case may be, your focus and your work and your priority needs to be making that connection piece a non-negotiable, so that at the time of the sale, right, and at the time when you're ready to launch, it becomes a no-brainer to say yes to you. It becomes such an easy yes for your people to want to invest in you, right? Because when you make connection as part of your business, you are naturally building that relationship and that long-term connection piece. You're already building that influence. You're already building that know, like, and trust with your people. You are creating that connection with your people throughout everything that you do in your marketing. So it makes it so much easier for them to want to buy from you, right? If you're watching and this makes sense, let me know. Put a 1 in the comments that it makes sense what I'm saying, right? So I've seen over and over and over and over, you guys, that, both in my business and in all of the clients that I work with, that when we use connection, and when I teach my clients how to build connection in and use connection as a core marketing strategy, your conversions skyrocket. They go through the roof, right? Like it's night and day. In fact, I'm going to share some client stories towards the end of the week on day 5 or on Friday, but which would be day 10 of this entire series. But just to kind of give you off the top of my head, like one of my clients recently, when she started working with me, she had a massive following, right? She had lots and lots of people on social media platforms just following her. And while she was posting comments and engaging and, connecting in the sense of with her people, her marketing and her messaging and the strategies just was actually creating a disconnect with her market, right? And I'll get into more specifics throughout the week, but it was actually, she wasn't connecting with her market in the way that would make them want to invest in her. So we had to work on shifting that. We had to work on having people see her as not just a source of information that's just putting information constantly into their newsfeed, but to see her as the person they would want to hire to help them overcome their problems, right? So once we worked on like shifting her messaging around that, so we built in those connection building strategies and we shifted the tone of her message. We shifted sort of like her brand presence, if you will, and just some tweaks we made. And you guys, within 2 weeks of implementing those connection building strategies, we and she just scratched the surface. She already booked 2 new clients. It happens that quickly because when you are connecting with your people on the level that they feel seen, heard, and understood, and that is the core of it, right? When they feel seen, heard, and understood, and you're connecting with them in that way, it makes it so much easier for them to want to work with you, jump on what you have to offer, right? So this is why I stress over and over and over again, connection has to be a non-negotiable in your business. It's not just a strategy or a tactic or something that you pull out when you're ready to like make sales or launch a program. It has to be something that is weaved throughout your entire marketing and throughout your entire business. It has to be a non-negotiable and something that you make a priority on your tasks or activities or whatever you want to call them as a business owner. So over the course of this week, we are going to cover how to use those connection building strategies throughout your messaging, throughout all of like the activities that you're doing, your marketing, your messaging, your offers, and all the strategies and systems that you're implementing, and how you can use all of these connection building strategies to create that cash injection in your business, right? So that's the stuff that we're going to be covering this week. We're going to dive a lot deeper into it tomorrow and the rest of this week. If you are watching me and you have not for any reason signed up for this live stream series, and you would like to get the daily reminders so that you can make sure you're joining me live every single day, you can join in the conversation. You can ask me your questions that you have around connection-based marketing. You can ask me, like what's going on, tell me what's going on with you and your business, and we can definitely talk about that. Go ahead and I'm going to put the link in the comments where you can sign up and register for this training series. So you'll get those reminders so you can join me live and ask me the questions that you have around that. And also that you'll get the weekly recap of all of this. So I'm going to put the link in the comments so you guys can register for that. And I'll be back tomorrow to dive into that first layer. So today, like I said, if there's Sorry, not the first layer. We covered the first layer last week. I'm going to be back tomorrow to dive into like the first piece of the connection to your business part of the strategy. So if you are joining me and you have any questions on this, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment box, or leave your questions in the comment box and I will go back and answer them. But if not, I will see you tomorrow at the same time, 8:30, and we're going to dive way deep into connection to your business. And you guys, if there's one thing I want you to take away today, it is that connection has to be a non-negotiable in your business. It is not something that you just pull out when the time needed. It has to be something that you're doing throughout your business. And if you know that is something that you need support with, then I definitely encourage you to work with me. Come join me live for the rest of the week so we can dive into that. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.